Hi, my name is Suzanne Spruck, and today I'll be addressing homelessness in America begins with community first. In 1998, while visiting my sister in Manhattan, she was talking about the homeless that she sees roaming the streets each day. One in particular we will call Annie. One day while leaving my sister's apartment complex, we walked out into the street, out her front door, and to the left we saw Annie sitting in a puddle of urine. This is just one of the many issues that the homeless face every day. Where will I go to the bathroom? Homelessness is a plaguing issue in America today. We see its effects on our streets, homeless pushing carts with their belongings, waiting in long lines to get into shelter, sleeping even on the sidewalks. And then we have some sitting, sleeping in tent cities, as we've seen in California. Laws and ordinances and policies have pushed out the homeless from their storefronts and pushing the homeless away. Homelessness is not a respecter for persons. It's a vast issue, and solutions are challenging. Its demographics, male, female, young, old, and singles and families, and many ethnicities are affected by homelessness. Many are languished from alcohol, drug use, and even mental illness. And the financial hardships they face, loss of jobs, divorce, foreclosures, and increased housing costs. On any given day, 552,830 humans are homeless. That was the statistics in 2019. That's 1 in 588 people. 194,467 of those will be sleeping on the street. 18% are chronically homeless more than a year, some 5, 10, 15 years. 7% of those are under the age of 25, and 7% are veterans. Post-wars set up since the Civil War have found an increased incidence of homelessness. In the 1980s, mental psychiatric institutions were closed due to lack of funding. And due to lack of funding, people could not afford housing, and it sent them to the streets. According to psychologist Abraham Maslow, there are 5 basic human needs: physiological needs, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Physiological needs include air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. The homeless have difficulty maintaining stable shelter. They are often bombarded by loitering laws and policies that keep them moving from place to place. Permanent housing is a necessity for the homeless. Although the homelessness causes are vast, without meeting the first basic human need for shelter, a person cannot have the stability to move on to higher basic human needs. Community first villages were designed to establish all Maslow's hierarchy of needs to provide the resources for people to transition from homelessness to a new home. Community First Village is a 51-acre RV-type community with over 200 micro homes that include RVs, small micro homes, and tents for the homeless to transition out of homelessness. It's not a temporary solution, but it's intended to be a permanent solution, housing solution for the Austin, Texas community. Alan Graham, the CEO of Loaves and Fishes, which is a feeding truck ministry, went out into the streets and began developing relationships with the Austin, Texas homeless. And in that, he found that many homeless desire a sense of belonging and community, and that's how Community First Village became about. Community First Village aim is to establish the first human need of shelter, while at the same time providing opportunity to obtain the other four basic human needs of safety and employment, resources, love, belonging, and that can be found in community. This community becomes their home, and often these people, these homeless people who've transitioned out of homelessness, begin to establish trust and relationships that allow them to move on to the higher hierarchy of needs. They get a sense of respect that develops, and then as residents recognize their gifts and talents and utilize them within the community. Each has a job and each pays a rent. Many have found self-actualizational needs being met, which is the highest. They have found purpose. Our proposal is to take the Austin model and brand and its example with the church and the community taking the reins. Community First Village is comprehensive. It doesn't just address shelter, but the first basic human need, but addresses through leadership and resources the ability to meet Maslow's hierarchy of the 5 basic human needs. In addition, it promotes a safe place to transition and obtain healing for those willing to take the journey. Are you willing to take the journey?